What's up, everybody? Joe White here, and I am in Barstow, California tonight. Barstow, California is right about an hour and a half um, north, northeast of LA, and it's about 3 hours south of Las Vegas. Right here, where beautiful I-15 and I-40 meet together. And I wanted to talk a little bit about SmackDown. I got to tell you guys, we are kind of leaning toward I won't say a new attitude era, but that's definitely the vibe. Um, the constant blacking out of the screen on SmackDown, the constant muting of the audio is just crazy. Fox would not do this if NFL crowds start chanting this kind of stuff. You know, if they started to chant "F you, Dak" at a Cowboys game, they're not gonna mute it. If somebody holds up a middle finger in the crowd, they're not gonna just cut the screen to black at an NFL game. When they cut the screen to black, it's either because they have a sign in the crowd they don't want shown on TV, which if that's the case, they need to remove the sign ASAP, or or they have like there's something on the screen that they feel like they need to censor. So they just black out the screen, mute the audio. You know, I mean, it's not WWE doing it. It's Fox doing that. The audio thing, I think, is WWE. In fact, if you go on to the YouTube clip of the big angle at the end of tonight's show, they've already just plastered booing crowd noise over the FU solo chants. Speaking of which, that angle to close SmackDown, we all knew it was coming. I didn't think they would put him through a table. I didn't think they would do a flying headbutt. I thought all you would give was a Samoan spike and maybe some coughing up of the blood capsules. But my God, kudos to Paul Heyman for putting himself through that. How old is he? He's got to be in his 50s. Let me see here. Paul Heyman. 58 years old. He was born September 11th, 1965. He'll turn 59 years old. And he did what needed to be done. He looked the part. The man had a full on like little bit more than 5 o'clock shadow. He had bloodshot eyes. The man looked like he hadn't slept for weeks. The same way he did when Roman Reigns went away. And then he came back and Heyman had the dye job for what left of his hair, and he had shaved the beard and all that good stuff. And you know what? I think next week maybe they come out and Cody Rhodes comes out and goes, "See, Nick Aldis called the cops on us. If you would have just given us the bloodline then, if you would just taken if you just would have let us take care of business then, Mr. Heyman would be here today. This is on you, Nick Aldis. This is on Nick Aldis. That's all there is to this. That's the only way they can spin this. Nick Aldis, from a storyline perspective, Nick Aldis is, you know, to blame for this. We got LA Knight qualifying for the Money in the Bank. We got Tiffany Stratton qualifying for the Money in the Bank. Um, we got Naomi qualifying for Money in the Bank. So, I'm so glad LA Knight is sorry guys, it is whew, the jet lag of traveling out to the West Coast from the East Coast. Like when you get yourself used to one time zone and that's all you've ever really lived in for all your life, and then all of a sudden you travel and you're 3 hours behind the rest of the the rest of the country. Well, not the rest of the country because you still got Mountain Time and Central Time, but when you travel from coast to coast, it can be a bit grueling. I'll just say that. And LA traffic, my God, going in and out of the valley on I-15. Whew, that is just some crazy stuff, man. Anyway, SmackDown tonight, I thought it was a darn good show. The MSG importance was definitely sewn in. No, there's no Wyatt Six. I think we can pretty much confirm that we may see little things like we saw on their Twitter page today with the Are You Special thing and, you know, stuff like that on Fridays, but they are definitely Monday Night Raw. And honestly, they better kind of, I don't know if they're going to ramp it up too much or not. Hell, I don't think they're going to have a match at Money in the Bank. I don't even think they're going to have a match at SummerSlam. I think they'll interfere at SummerSlam. They'll cause chaos at SummerSlam. Maybe another quote unquote massacre. By the way, guys, to all those, Wyatt Six killed people, does this mean Paul Heyman is dead? We got him. We saw him get loaded. If you go up on WWE's YouTube page, there's a clip of him getting loaded up in the ambulance. So does this mean Heyman's dead? Jesus. But yeah, I think the Wyatt Six, they're Raw only, and I don't think we see them wrestle. You're not going to see them at Bash at Berlin. Um, I'll say the early. I'll go out on a limb. I'll walk it back. The earliest we see anybody from that group in the ring is SummerSlam. There's rumors going around that the whole dual personality thing is definitely kind of where they're going. Um, if you go back and watch the Bray Wyatt interview that Bray did after Elimination Chamber, where he did an interview with Sam Roberts after one of the Elimination Chamber pay-per-views, where he kind of explained his world and his characters. Um, as far as Alexa Bliss goes, they're in no hurry to bring her back. In my opinion, right now, at the pace that they're telling this story, at the pace that they're doing things, they got vignettes lined up for the next 6 weeks, or at least 4 weeks. 4 weeks, excuse me. You got to do one for Nikki, you got to do one for Gacy, you got to do one for Rowan, and you got to do one for Dexter. Let's see, 4 weeks of, when is SummerSlam? Let's add this up. Hold on. SummerSlam is August 3rd. So if you go 4 weeks from now, Raw would be July 1st, 8th, 15th. The 22nd would be the final one. Then you have a go home show leading right into SummerSlam. It fits. It fits. As much as I did not want this, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I was expecting to see them in the ring long before now. And what they do at SummerSlam, I'm not even sure that they wrestle. They may just come in and attack someone. Sooner or later, we're going to have, again, I keep saying this, they're going to have to wrestle sooner or later. I don't think it's going to be Chad Gable. I don't think they're going to keep doing stuff with Pat McAfee. I don't think after the death of his father-in-law, Pat McAfee wants to be doing wrestling angles on his, ESPN syndicated podcast, which I can't stand that show. I can't stand Pat McAfee, but given that he's just had a terrible loss, I don't think he wants to deal with the spooky Yuki Yuki on his show. um, I don't know where the Wyatt Six go. I really don't. Um, we know that we're going to get that six-man tag probably at Money in the Bank. It's probably going to be Cody versus Solo at SummerSlam, with Roman returning at SummerSlam. Roman famously made his return after the leukemia thing at a SummerSlam event. I think it was during the Thunderdome era. So was it SummerSlam 2020? So they got that WrestleMania documentary coming out next week. I think that for as far as SmackDown goes, for the next few weeks, you need to have the Bloodline wreaking havoc, absolute havoc. Um, Let me see here. What is it I want to talk about here? I had so many things written down. I want to thank you guys for subscribing and hitting the like button and leaving comments. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you to all my Twitter followers at Joe Pillar to Post. Be sure to follow me on Twitter. I've been tweeting a lot lately. Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it today. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. If I can think of anything else, I'll post it tomorrow. I know I haven't posted a video for a few days, so I just wanted to get this out. SmackDown thoughts out. Again, I like the direction of the two Money in the Bank matches, giving, trying to make a new star out of both matches. I could totally see Tiffany Stratton winning Money in the Bank. I would love to see LA Knight win Money in the Bank. I don't want to see Jey Uso. To me, because Jey Uso, before Survivor Series gets here, Jey Uso has to reunite with his brother because you're going to get Samoan Civil War games. I don't know if they're going to do a trade to get him back to SmackDown or what, but it's going to happen. There's no reason not to do this at War Games. Even if you have to build it up a whole another year and a half until until 2025's War Games. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. We'll see you down the road.